Hi, welcome back to Ecstaticism, Embracing the Journey to Awakening, and I am speaking with Maryann Rada, internationally known blogger and author, and we left talking about emotions, so we can come back and pick up on, moving from, fear to love and handling our emotions. So how do you think we can do that?
Oh, it takes a lot of practice. You have to be fully present. You have to be fully present and see what it is that's triggering it, for one thing, and why it's being triggered. Sometimes I get triggered, I get angry, and sometimes I look, why am I angry about this stupid little thing? And I think back to a time where I was hurt, or where I felt some injustice had been done to me. And therein is the key to unlocking that, going into that place and sitting with that hurt child or that hurt person that I was and saying, it's okay, let go of it now, it's okay, and integrating that. That helps a lot.
It does. It seems like we put so much pressure on ourselves, It's like, aside from the fact that, we're all having tough times when it comes to money, we're all having tough times when it comes to, jobs and anything that we're moving into. I mean, there's so much going on. And I love in this article as well that I read from earlier, you wrote too, I'll read this really cute. I love this. Dread nothing. Measly little details such as governments toppling, markets crashing, and wars being threatened will do nothing to ruffle your feathers if you can stay focused on dreadnought.
Yeah.
I thought that was just so, it's like dreadnought. That's my new word. And that's, it's just awesome. I mean, because we really shouldn't even be worried about these things. They're just old forms that no longer serve the highest good for anyone. It really doesn't. And we need to detach emotionally. And we have reactions to these things. When fear, shows up, we're having a reaction within our neural networks, and we associate those types of things to our own memories, and then we feel those in our body. When any kind of fear shows up, where is it landing in our bodies? It's like having to really pay attention. And what's more important is us being in a state of mind where we can share joy and love in the moment right now. That's all we have. There's just too much external, it seems.
Yeah, and that can really knock you off balance. But we're also trained from the beginning. We're trained not to show fear, not to show that we're off balance, not to show that we're apprehensive or have any kind of hurt. We're not supposed to show, especially Americans, not supposed to show when somebody hurts you. You're just supposed to stand up and be strong. And what that does is it teaches us to cover up what's authentic about ourselves. And the secret in Dreadnought, I'm going to just read a sentence from this nice little book that I put together with the the definitions that they wrote. Knowledge of Dreadnought is knowledge of peace, yet peace without knowledge of Dreadnought is merely wearing a veneer of serenity. And I think a lot of us do that. We'll put on a smile, we'll go to yoga class and chant some mantras, but kind of walk around the edge of the black hole where some part of us is struggling to get out.
That makes sense, because it takes it, once you're awakened and you're aware of these things, it takes a responsibility from each one of us.
And it takes a lot of courage, of courage. And really, you can have the support of teachers and gurus and friends and whatever helps you to get to the edge of that place. But you have to go in alone and know that you're going to come out with your whole self or more of your whole self. It's a process, I think. And as hurricane season is coming, it can be a useful tool to look at the hurricane as the storm that's going on within you that you're not able to completely calm from the outside. The only way to do that is to dive into the middle of that. And once you do, it all dissolves. It's as if your presence in the middle of that storm dissipates the power of the storm. It has nothing left to spin around because you're there as a presence. And I think that's what it takes, but it can be really scary.
It can, and it would take, and it also takes unity. It's like we are so powerful, and we're not recognizing that. Mm-hmm. And even these disasters, these natural disasters, it pulls people together. And what I think we should be focusing on is the little miraculous things. That, instead of, counts of destruction, let's look at counts of miracles, because they really are. We're all human angels, and we're having these experiences for a reason. Everything is in divine order. And getting to know that, it takes courage. It takes a whole lot more effort, to be kind and outgoing to people than it does, to be separate.
Right. Now, here's something that's coming to me. I wrote a sentence last night that just came to me, and I knew it was going to be part of something bigger. So here it is. Go. There's a divine light that exists. We all feel, I think, when we approach knowledge of our own divinity and awareness of that. How much courage does it take for a flame to exist in the darkness away from that and to burn with its own light? And then, what exactly is that flame anchored to? If you ever look at the flame burning on the wick of a candle, it's as if there's nothing there. Right around the wick where the candle's anchored, there's nothing there. You can see through it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you see the light illuminating from it. And that's who we are. That's who we are, I think.
I think so, too. It makes so much sense. I think that we're shifting and changing. Our DNA is changing to the point that, we are recognizing our own inner light, and it's a gift. All these things that are changing on the planet. You and I talked a little bit about, the star systems and the pyramids on the planet, and there's so much more being revealed to us now. It's like the truth, that you can't hide a truth, and we need to know these things. We need to know who we are and where we came from. And for the longest time, we cut all that off just to support an agenda of oil and whatever else agenda is out there of greed. It's like, it's time to, let's go back to our roots. Let's go back to the mother. Let her show us. Let the heavens and the earth show us who we are.
Right.
And
go ahead.
Go ahead. It's really happening. I feel it's happening.
I feel like it's almost a reverse of Pandora's box. When Pandora lifted the lid off the box and all the evils and plagues of the world came out, it's kind of like a reverse of that now. We're prying the lid off of the box of truth and light, and we're working at it. We're working at it from our little positions where we believe we are, and there are these powers that keep slamming the box shut, but it can't keep happening.
I know, it's like the nuns slapping your hands with a ruler. It's like, no, we've got to know. And this has been happening a long time for those that question. That's why we're here. And we have to, move away from judgments and allow people to explore these. We have questions, we want answers. We're not going to forget, and we want peace, and we want love, and we want joy, and we want freedom for each other. That's what we're here for. And what we were saying earlier, to be able to really bring in these higher dimensional energies, I feel we really need to be connected to the earth in order to do that, to be the calm within the storm, to really amplify that light really can make a difference. And if we were to practice that anchored here in peace, in joy, in trust, in love, we can actually change the outcome of the disasters that are happening at the time, being the calm within the storm.
It's quite a test to set for ourselves, but we apparently fought pretty hard to get here. Not fought, but it's like raised our hand. Who could raise your hand highest? Who wants to go to Earth at this point in time? So we do have something to do, each one of us, even if it's just to be, where we are. We can't all go out and save the world single-handedly. There are people who are doing a lot of work out there, and just to to be, just to hold a place, just to anchor your peace does so much.
It does. I think it's wonderful that you're writing the way that you are and that you're bringing so much out. I know you have touched so many people, and I love the work that you're doing. I'm very grateful to be here to be able to talk to you and bring you to even more people. I just think it's wonderful to be able to share that we are in communication with these angels, these higher dimensionals, and there is something big on the horizon. I think that disclosure is already happening. It's like it's not somebody, pressing the button and saying, okay, well, now they can know the truth. It's not like that. It's like it's already been unfolding. I believe that these higher dimensionals, the UFO phenomenon, all these the ways that they are communicating with us really is in a way of light. And, they're just watching. I think they're waiting. They're waiting.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Nemesis takes a lot of forms, and one of them is the form of truth to the ones who don't want the truth to be told. So there you go. I mean, that's to have.
You mentioned too, and I'm looking at this article yet, and you mentioned at the end of it, they'd said anyway that. Sagittarius rising soon will be, and the dreams nudge you into awareness. Walk in the light and live in peace. Ray Lagarin?
Rock Lagarin.
Oh, beautiful.
Rock Lagarin. I have no idea.
Okay.
Sometimes these, and sometimes I write with a pen, and I'll write in this language, and then they'll transliterate it, and then they'll translate it. And that was just kind of a cheer.
And, the Sagittarius rising soon really, it really interests me. I mean, we just had the eclipses, November of last year and, this month with the Sagittarius. And I just wondered if that, do you feel it has anything to do with the right now?
Well, it's interesting. That's an interesting thing to bring up right now because there is a part of our galaxy called the I think we're in the Sagittarius arm, but there's a Sagittarius sector of our galaxy, very close to the center of the galaxy, if not at the center of the galaxy, from which there is supposed to be a wave emanating. I don't have the science in front of me, but apparently there is some scientific basis to this. As we get more sensitive equipment up in orbit, that we can detect some of these things. But supposedly there's this wave that's supposed to be pretty transformative, energetically speaking, that's emanating from this Sagittarius area, and that I think is part of it.
Awesome. Let's talk about that when we get back from the break.
Rising too, so.
Oh, yeah, because I'm really fascinated by this. I think we can go somewhere with this. So we'll get back to this when we get back from the break. So we'll be right back. Thank you so much.